Hello, this is TC Lee on behalf of the Tank Club, and this is my Kynes Aegis guide for the ad pulls. There are a few ways to do the ad pulls, so bear in mind this is just one way, and the methods used might vary depending on your group's DPS. So here is a general tank gear setup for the two tanks. The main tank with Yolnakrin Alkosh, ideally Swift Jewelry and Thovoken. Off tank in Dragon's Defilement for the area of effect, minor breach and fracture, and Alkosh again to make sure that everything gets fully debuffed. We use a second Thovoken because this now has a 4-second downtime potential, and it can proc in the wrong location if you get hit, and then it cannot be procced again for 16 seconds. We really want to have the AoE minor maim on the ads as they hit really hard. So here we're going to reach the first ad pull. Generally, as the main tank you'll take the left ads, the off tank will take the right ads. First ad that you take is a Raider. You've got to turn that away from group instantly. It does jabs similar to a Templar that will kill DDs. There's also a Bulwark on this pull which the off tank will take. Ideally they want to spin that around as well, as that's got a big cleave, and the Bulwark should be focused first so that it doesn't shield the other ads. We get to the second ad pull and we've got a Tidebreaker and a Raider. You need to taunt them both, spin them round. Again, the off tank's got a Bulwark. The Bulwark should be focused again. Before it does its shield, you've got approximately 10 seconds before he does the shield, which will then shield up the other ads and empower them slightly so they increase their damage. The Tidebreaker is a very important ad to kill second, as it's got a huge area of effect. So as soon as you see the Tidebreaker curl up into the ground, he holds his sword into the ground, and after 3 to 4 seconds he will do an explosive area of effects, and if the damage dealers aren't on full health and blocking or dodge rolling, they will die. This ad pull, you've got one Tidebreaker and 2 Raiders. Taunt all 3 quickly as the main tank spin them round, and then the off tank can come along and taunt them off you. The small ads that are around the back edge of the area should be chained in. You can avoid the cleave from the Tidebreaker. The Tidebreaker has 2 attacks. It's got one cleave where it swings its weapon around its head. As the swing is coming round, that's when you dodge roll to avoid it, and then obviously it's got the large area of effect that it does when it curls up. The next pull, we've got 2 Raiders, so off tank takes the right ones, main tank takes the left ones, you take one each, pull them close together and chain in all the small ads from behind. So you chain all those ads in. The group just kills the Raiders as quickly as they can. The Raiders will throw a spear at the person who is furthest away from the group. Now we've got lightning that's dropping down on the floor, that's from the one of the next ads. Step out of that. At this point the off tank will take both of the Bulwarks, and there is a Tidebreaker that comes from behind over the hill. You want to stack that near to the Stormcaller and chain in all the small ads onto the Stormcaller. Now the Bulwarks, when there's 2 of them, they will shield each other up. So there's 2 ways: you can either focus one Bulwark down and then kill the other one in the stack, or you can pull them out of group like we have done here. We kill everything else, and then as the main tank I taunt one of them. I taunt one Bulwark, pull it over to the side so they're not shielding each other. The group focuses one down then the other, but you could stack these both on top of the Stormcaller and just focus one straight away, kill the other one second to get rid of the shield, and then kill everything else. This is the first ads up to the first boss. That's those completed. Now we're moving on to the ads after the first boss. So after the first boss, we've got the next ads. So we've firstly got 2 Tidebreakers, one on either side, so tanks take one each. There's also a raider on the left side, which the main tank should taunt and spin that around quickly. You have to watch from the cleave from both of the tidebreakers here, because you can be hit by the other tank's cleave from the tidebreaker, and they can both curl up and do their huge water AoE at the same time. Every time there's small adds, obviously they aren't the priority, so you don't need to taunt those, they just need to be chained in. We get to the next ad pull and we see our first shaman. We should focus the bulwarks first, so at least focus the left side bulwark. The shamans need to die fast or else they start to spawn totems. So the totems that you see on the first boss, like the fire totems, it can spawn those if not killed quick enough. You also need to interrupt the shaman as it can heal the other adds. As you see here, we kill one bulwark, then we kill the shaman, and then we kill the second bulwark afterwards. Any small adds chained in again, and then we start moving on to the next ad pull. So this is all the adds between after the first boss, before the second boss. So here we've got a bulwark hiding behind a tree on the right side. On the left side is a tidebreaker. We're going to stack the tidebreaker with the shaman. You could focus the bulwark here to get rid of it and focus that down. That's brought straight into group and turned away from the group. All the adds have to be facing away from the group. The group should always stay stacked 180 degrees the opposite side of the minis. When the tidebreaker curls up to do its big AoE, that's the perfect opportunity to chain in all the small adds. Once everything's dead, finally run up to the top and kill the Stormcaller. Your damage dealers definitely want to be trying to avoid the lightning AoEs from the Stormcaller. And the final ad pull, now before the second boss, we've got a shaman and 2 raiders, so the easiest way is just for the main tank to taunt everything quickly. The group focuses the shaman first and then the 2 raiders afterwards, and then the off tank and the main tank can both chain in the small adds that are there. Spin around the raiders again, make sure they're not facing the group, because that jab attack that they do will one-shot a DD almost. It's very quick, like the biting jabs of the Templar ability. And then we reach the second boss, and we're going to do the adds after the second boss now. So after the second boss we get the next ad pull. We've got infusers, we've got an infuser on the left, an infuser on the right, and an infuser on the middle. So the main tank, take the infuser on the left and the infuser in the middle. The off tank takes the one on the right. You run into the tent to stack them in front, and then make sure you're using deep breath so they don't enrage and cause empower to all the other adds as well. We then go down the hill to the next ad pull. This is where we're going to see our first big ad. We've got 3 infusers and a Crimson Knight. The off tank's going to take the Crimson Knight. They have to dodge roll the heavy attack, where it opens out its hands and then clasps them together quickly. That has to be dodge rolled. As the main tank, you taunt the 3 infusers and then run in whichever direction. So usually there's 2 of them near Crimson Knight already. So either run up the hill to pull one in from behind, or run towards the tents to pull them the opposite way if needed. So just taunt all 3 and run in whichever direction that is opposite to pull them onto the Crimson Knight. Make sure we're using deep breath again to stop them from empowering all the other adds. This one's quite a big ad pull, so we've got another one of the big knights which the off tank's going to take on the heap over by the tent on the left, and then there's an infuser by the tree, an infuser down the hill, and then 2 infusers over to the left side. Taunt all 4, run into the tent, turn around and have a look. Once they're all stacked, you come back out of the tent, and then it's going to be up to you just to make sure that they are interrupted. DDs can't be in melee range of the adds when they do the AoE around their feet, because that is more or less a one-shot for a damage dealer with the AoEs, especially when you have all 4 infusers stacked. And then we come on to the final ad pull, which is one of the worst ad pulls in the game to deal with. There are so many priority adds to taunt in this ad pull that it is quite difficult for the tanks. There are a couple of ways to do it. the main way would be for a healer to take the left infuser, run to the right side to stack it into the middle, as the main tank take the bulwark, the tidebreaker, the blood knight, and the group would focus the bulwark and try and kill that first. You ideally want to have like saved all ultimates on the previous Adpul so you can ult drop this with everybody's ultimates. The off tank would take the right infuser, the shaman, and the raider and stack those with yours, and you just focus the bulwark, then the shaman, the infusers, and just slowly make your way through the ads. If you want to play it safe, you could take the bulwark, the shaman, and the 2 infusers into the hut on the left side. Everybody kill them. One healer could run to the right side and taunt the infuser, run that into the hut as well. Make sure it's being interrupted, and just pull the blood knight and the tidebreaker away from the group towards the stormcaller so that the group doesn't get hit by the blood fountains. So that is the safe way to do it. If you wanted to, you could take the bulwark as well so that the group can focus the shamans and the infusers and then meet up with the other tank, and the off tank would take some of the stuff slowly off the main tank who's holding all that stuff over by the stormcaller. Once everything dies, you're onto the stormcaller, and that is all of the Adpuls. If you'd like to see more tank related information, guides, builds and more, make sure you check out the Tank Club Discord. The link is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.